Something else might happen.
Yeah.
Go with the flow, man.
Adventure.
Just live a little, Ross. Fucking shake it out and free up, man.
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit and drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast. Another episode, another wee solo one coming to
have
you.
to say that
I do.
it's a solo
we
one?
do because
Why?
I think the no.
No, there's no
I can't
guest.
take him seriously when he said he's
Fuck
on.
off.
Nobody wants to come on. Like.
It's not that nobody wants to come on.
Well.
It's
Well.
yeah, nobody wants to come on.
Just got too fucking
Shea's got
lazy.
headphones on now because he's just so extra.
I know.
Just
He's
trying to
like-
improve
he's like,
things. And
Look at the actual cut of the table
He's,
as well.
he's really insecure about his ears, so now he's just covering them up every episode.
I have pretty small ears.
See, we have headphones in, so we can pick up. See, whenever you went like this,
Yeah, I could hear that.
like the
Well,
audio
I
just
couldn't
dropped
hear it.
off. Like. We couldn't hear it. That's the point.
Do I give a fuck?
I love how he says this now, but 2 weeks down the line, he'll be listening to the podcast and be like, lads, I just think we need to be more in tune about where
When
we're
did I
at
ever
with the
say
mic.
that? When did I ever say that? I'm the one who doesn't even notice the difference in the sound. You should
It's 'cause you don't pay attention to it.
replaying it like 30 times, but he's like, how can you not hear that? It's just amazing.
I know, but we want the podcast to become better. This is the way it's going to get better. Like. So, basically,
Couldn't get any worse, could it?
I think so. If you're tuning in this week, we're going to talk about. I want to talk about the. Sorry, I burped. I want to talk about this gigantic aeroplane, which is a concept that they're basically floating at this present moment in time. So it's a 5-star.
You go such a roundabout way of things.
it's a
so there's this airplane, it has two
We're going
wings.
to talk about this air cruise plane.
yeah.
So like, if you're tuning in this week, everyone, we're going to go and talk about this big plane, and it's got all these rooms in it, and it's called the air cruise plane.
it's a nuclear powered sky hotel. Now,
Right.
is there anything that immediately jumps out to you whenever I say that there?
Nuclear powered.
Yeah,
But like nuclear power is the most safest way of power. It actually is.
Cleanest too.
It's like the most, like the least people die working in factories and all.
It's the cleanest.
Yeah.
Burning energy as well.
If you actually look it up, like, it is like the safest way of creating energy.
See, I just think about Chernobyl.
I know, but like that, like obviously if it blows up, like,
No,
but
no,
do you know what I
you
mean?
That's a one-off.
So it would use clean nuclear energy to stay afloat for several years, and it can carry up to 5,000 guests. So it's basically, you know, the big cruise liners. It's basically that, but in the sky, right?
You know what it gives me? Like,
What
Titanic vibes.
does? It would be worse
It's
than
like
Titanic.
it's like the biggest thing ever. It's such a big thing, and all the guests are gonna get on it. In like 30 years, there's gonna be a film about it.
yeah,
Like.
yeah.
it's dodgy, the fact that it's flying about in the air and it's holding
Yeah.
nukes essentially.
So, so
It's all a plot.
they've basically.
Do you know what it
Russia.
is? It's actually like that big plane out of Marvel, like the Avengers.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
one of
the
the
one-
big ones. It's gonna be a big.
And you press a button and it goes invisible and all.
Yeah.
What worries me is the pictures, the concept photos that they have of it. They have like a Boeing 747 pinned to the top of it. So you know the way most cruise liners
Was he out there?
most cruise liners have a boat
Yeah.
like with them. This one has a smaller plane, which is actually just a normal
Yeah, that's
plane.
a good point. Like so, like if there's like the plane's gonna crash, like if a boat's sinking, there's all these like safety boats that you get in there. Like, what happens if that's crashing?
Yeah, well,
like?
this is what
There's another
like, there's
plane,
no
that-
runway.
Yeah. So like, what?
Yeah.
How? Like?
Yeah, this is
Is it just that high
You
up?
don't need a runway if you're in the sky.
I know, but what are you gonna do?
But like,
for-
if you have to get off that, like, say that plane's going down and they have other planes on it to take, like, just for guests to get onto to like evacuate. What are they gonna do if there's no runway? Just like release it and hope it flies.
Well, you don't need a runway to get in the air if you're already in the air.
I know, but like you
But
need
if that
that
goes
plane needs momentum to take off.
Yeah.
Like,
You get downward momentum, then you lift up again.
but that's like
Lad,
just
you've
saying
watched
a
far
plane,
too many movies, like.
a plane.
Have you
on a-
never played San Andreas and you go up in the air and you just stop? You can still
but,
fly
like,
again.
You
Like,
still took off. Like your plane just didn't like straight.
but
up
it's already
jump.
in the air.
I know, but you're not listening.
Here, you're away from the mic. I can
Oh,
hear
fuck off.
that.
You know, but like
So it does island.
you need
on.
momentum to like fly. But like that, so do you think they can just release this plane and it's gonna just like have enough time to get the engines going and take off? Like?
Yeah, you obviously start the engines before you release it. Like, get her warmed up,
That doesn't
ready to
sound-
go.
that doesn't sound
The
safe,
point that I'm
like.
trying to make is like the graphic designer who clearly came up with this concept, right, has
Well, I
went,
don't think a graphic designer came up with
oh,
it.
like that there.
To design the
like a
plane.
graphic designer has come up like and
Do you know-
followed like
Oh,
and
yeah,
come up
but
with
Some guy named Edge pulls out his fucking sharpened
no,
pencil.
But this graphic designer wasn't like, you know what, be a good idea.
I don't mean the graphic designer came up with it. Like obviously he or she, well, they may have experience in nuclear power, we don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is the graphic designer who made this
Yeah.
has stuck the wee airplane. Now,
But
notice
that's
how,
not. Is that not just like a?
yeah, it's like a mock up. But the thing is, right, you're releasing this to people who are like us who are going to critique it, right?
Yeah.
So there's 5,000 guests on board. And you've one escape airplane, so that's going to be an awkward conversation if that thing starts going
And
down.
how do
It's
you
like-
get? How do you get on it?
I think it just takes off like a normal
But
plane.
it's no, I don't think that's right.
Well, how's it getting from the ground to the sky?
I know it takes off, but like if it's up in the air so long, the guests aren't living there for like 2 years. Like how do the guests get up, off, and on it?
That's actually a good.
Oh, right. But I think that's probably the idea.
Like,
that they
you don't
live
just
on
get.
it, like.
You don't go on a cruise and just never get off the boat.
It's the
like.
same as people living in the
It would
space
use
station.
clean-
Like you just
it
don't
would
pop
use-
off. Like
It would
I know
use
that,
clean
but, like-
nuclear energy to stay afloat for several years.
Yeah, so like guests aren't going to be like, oh, we're going on a cruise. We'll be back in 7 years. Like.
maybe you get another plane to it.
I thought you.
Oh, hold on. The aircraft is equal parts spaceship and ocean liner, and it comes with just about every amenity you could imagine. Its ginormous size can accommodate more than 5,000 guests who would arrive on board via commercial or private plane. That's right, jumbo jets would land on top of the Sky Cruise. So which means
Nah, that's dodgy.
if it's
It doesn't look like where are they landing though. It doesn't look like they're.
probably on top of it, like
This graphic designer's made a bit of a shambles. This like it looks
But
like
you
a
ima-
big
you
massive
imagine,
plane.
like Top Gun, like, you know, whenever they land on
Yeah,
the,
but it's like a flat surface. That just looks like a big plane.
So you'd have access. There's a shopping mall on it, sports centres, swimming pools, restaurants, bars, playgrounds, theatres and cinemas. Do you know whenever you get the feeling that, you know, you look at what's going on in the world right now and you just think, this is probably one less thing that we need to be worrying about right now.
It's interesting. Like,
It's interesting, but at the same
I
time,
just-
do we really need it? Do you know what I mean?
but no, but like, did you need cruise ships? Though?
I know, but man, how many years are we in existence now and we've survived without that? Like,
We'll have to.
How many years did it exist without computers and
We'll
couldn't
have
survive
to-
with it now?
so basically, they've saying that the people are obviously worried about like air travel, as most people would be. Like most people don't really particularly like the whole idea of flying in a tin can in the air. So basically, what they've done is they've said that the craft would use artificial intelligence to avoid air turbulence.
How?
There's also a
Hey
film.
Siri, avoid air turbulence.
Like it's just mad. Like it is crazy. Like I seen that and I was just like, I have to talk about this because like, you know when you just see a concept and you're kind of like, I could see it working, but at the same time,
It
like
might
what,
be hard to get guests to do it. Like
I
so
wouldn't
don't
do
know.
it.
I just don't see the appeal. Like.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever watched Snowpiercer?
Yeah,
It's just like that.
Yeah.
They just stay on the train, drive around the tracks for like fucking
it's a bit like.
6 years.
Have you seen Elysium
No.
with Matt Damon?
No.
Where there's like basically like the world's going extinct and there's like a big, basically like spaceship, but it's like full of houses and stuff. Like.
Right.
It's sort of like, you know, Interstellar
I was gonna say
type of
Interstellar,
thing.
that
Like.
was
Yeah.
Do you like planes? Not like
I don't-
like them as in like an interesting
Love
topic. Like I like
Love a-
planes.
I love a
I'm more
plane.
asking like, do you like planes? As in like, you know, you're going on holiday next week. Like, are you kind of a bit like, oh, I'm a
It
bit.
doesn't really bother me. Like. The only thing I don't like is the taking off. Not even the taking off, it's the landing.
It's the
I
landing.
hate the landing. Like.
It's the anticipation of the landing. Like. You're
I
just
enjoy
back
it.
from
I
holiday.
find it quite therapeutic to take off because everyone else is like shit, and I'm like, yeah, come on, fucking crash, fucking crash.
Let's go. Yeah, like I don't know how I feel. Like, do you want to know what it is though? Right, a lot of people I feel aren't scared of flying. They're just scared of not being in control. Because whenever you look at it, right, and I actually looked this up before we began recording this podcast.
But what are you like? What are you gonna crash into in the air? Like,
So
There's nothing up there.
And like, how often do you hear about planes
Yeah.
crashing? Like, really? Like, and there's that many flights a day. Like, that's crazy.
So-
like.
So many more car crashes.
In
with people
terms-
dying than
I
plane
know,
crashes, and
yeah.
people aren't afraid to get in the car.
In terms of transportation options, in terms of most safe to least safe, airplanes are the safest form of travel, followed by buses, then followed by train, boat, and then cars and motorcycles
I would
are
have
the
thought
most dangerous.
trains were the most safest, because like you're just on a track. Like what happened? How does the train
I
crash?
suppose though you're more likely to, like, a level crossing, for an example. There's more likelihood that a tractor could stall on
It
there,
has to be a
bang,
tractor.
dead.
Like,
Do you know what I mean?
Does that count?
You
Or
know
like
you're
a
from
quarry,
Ballymena,
you know what I
eh?
mean?
Tractor,
Or a
isn't it?
horse gets on it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus.
Horse gets on the train.
A horse gets on.
What sort of fucking horse takes a train?
A horse gets on the track.
Just
like,
get on the train.
bang.
What the fuck are you doing?
You know what I mean?
Can I see your ticket, sir? Nay.
I think it's
And
The
shit
quality
everywhere.
of comedy is just another level.
I think it's more to do with the fact that, like, cars and motorcycles, like, you've more risk of crashing on a car and a motorcycle. Why is that, you ask? Well, because you're around more people.
Because women.
Wanted to get more in touch with my family instead, so I crashed the car.
But that was true. I can't believe you've done this. He didn't mean it.
I'm quoting the quote.
But basically, like, I came to here from work, and I probably went up a motorway. Like, I did go up a motorway with tons of cars around me. It just takes one of them cars to go, oh, bang.
I got
You know
you.
Tag you're
in.
it. Straight into you,
LOL.
like, do you know what I mean? And I feel like people automatically assume that the whole, like, driving it feels safer because you're in control. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, even if you're in the passenger seat, you're aware of what's going on.
What do you think of like the whole like cars driving themselves thing then?
There's only ever been like one recorded crash.
I think that'll happen. I think that'll become a
Yeah.
thing.
I think,
But
you
we'll
should-
always
I
be
th-
the last for things to happen to. You know, like our country will always be like one of the last
I'm
to
sure
adapt
there's
it.
other countries like
I know, but like I mean, in terms of like Europe
India.
and stuff. Like,
some places don't even have running water.
yeah.
I know
Come
that,
on,
but
lad.
like Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
Do you know?
Fucking Crimea River, like.
Some people don't even
Thomas
have
is like,
river.
we'll be the last to get the electric cars because no one can get. We can hardly agree on who's flipping what religion we are, and like,
Nobody's with it here.
I'm telling you, we're so behind the times.
You're so not alternative.
But I think the whole idea of the driverless cars is good because, like, look at Teslas. Like, look how many crashes they've averted because they've got the sensors and they can react quicker than a human.
But you
So,
wouldn't
like-
have control, is what I'm trying to make. Like you're saying, like people don't like flying because they don't have control. You don't have control when it's a self-driving
See,
car.
I don't think that'll be a thing. Like,
Well, completely
Self-driving cars.
I
You just said it would.
No, I can't see it being fully self-driving, as in I will get in a car, program
It
away to
can't-
work.
It can't be fully self-driving until
Yeah.
everybody's fully self-driving. You know, you can't have like 50% of the cars on the road that are fully
Yeah.
self-driving and then
Yeah.
the other
Surely
half
the
manually
car
driven.
would be the whole point of the car is like it can see like crashes and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
do you know?
Before that happened.
I know, but if it can judge, like if a car's like if it's like switching lanes and stuff, like I don't see how that like that's any different than if like a car's coming towards you.
Yeah.
No, but obviously, like, I going back to what we were talking about, like, I do feel like you automatically
Fuck off!
you automatically think that the car is like, you feel safer in a car, but I feel like it's just because we have, like, humans, as long as if they don't know how to execute what they're doing, like, I don't know how to fly a plane.
Are you a
So
good
now-
passenger
So
in a car? I'm not.
I'm not great, but at the same time, sometimes I do like to not drive, especially at the minute when it's like £2 a litre. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus, the price of
the price of
of diesel at the
desperate.
minute.
No, like, I wouldn't be. I prefer to drive.
Yeah, I'd be the same, but I don't mind being driven about as well.
Yeah,
The odd time,
yeah.
but not.
Depends
but
what the
not-
context is. Like,
I don't like relying on people either.
yeah.
Not that I'm the most on-time person, but
Oh, you're not too bad.
Get a room. Oh my
Thanks,
God.
son.
Yourself a bit of slack, big man.
that
like-
means a lot coming from you.
And I'm becoming more zen. Said one, but I feel like we were in Italy like 2 years, just before the pandemic, and like we were like 2 weeks in Italy, and I was being driven about, like, Lucinda's dad was like hired the car.
Daddy? He got a tandem bicycle. Or
no
dolls
way.
in the front.
It was just like, oh, we're heading out today.
You know the bikes they have, and then like they have the wee kid trailer at the back, and the kid sits on it. Ross is in the back.
There's it.
Here, come on with me, son. I'll take you for a wee ice cream.
Papa, go faster. Papa.
But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of not, like, I like coming back and being in control. You know what I mean? I feel like this is a good segue to move on to our main topic.
There was absolutely no segue there.
Where we're just talking about planes.
Oh.
Where do planes take you to? Holiday.
Well,
So our main topic is this week. Thomas, introduce it.
So our main topic this week is holidays. We're
Yeah.
going to start doing a topic every week, and this week it is, like I said, holidays.
Nice.
So moving on, holidays.
What was it you actually wanted to talk about with regards to the whole holiday thing?
Holidays.
No, but
Holidays.
in
Just like
specific.
experiences, like.
Okay. So you're about to go on holiday?
Yeah. Well, how do you get on holidays? Though?
Grant.
What do you like about going on holiday, and what do you not like? Though?
The hot weather.
You don't like the hot weather.
Yeah. It depends what holiday you go on to. Like, you go on some holidays and I find some places you don't like, the people in it aren't very friendly.
I don't know. Did
But
you
like-
find that?
No, in Lanzarote it was fine, like, but I've been on other holidays where they're not really very
where?
friendly now.
Like what?
Barcelona, obviously. I've heard Turkey's a bit weird. Like. I've never been, but I heard like the men are quite creepy and stuff over there.
But
But
like playing with your hair. Yeah, well, we get into that. Sure. I was talking experiences. What happened to you in Barcelona? I feel like we've never told this story.
I definitely did. I've done it twice.
Have you?
I have twice.
Explain again for any of
Not going 3 times. No.
Basically, Shea was robbed of all his
She was
possessions.
sort of pickpocketed and lost his phone.
I don't know. I feel
What's
like
your like? So this is what we'll talk about. What is your favorite? What type of holiday do you like? Are you like a chill by the pool type of guy, or do you like to do stuff? Like?
No, I'm completely off city breaks and stuff. It wasn't even because of that experience. It was like I hate all the walking about. Like, if you're going on a holiday, it has to be like chilling beside the pool.
Yeah.
Fuck all week.
Yeah.
Like that's if you go on a city break, you come back to work like the week after and you're fucking wrecked.
You're
You
exhausted,
need another
like
holiday.
doing like 30,000 steps a day. Like.
Yeah, so I think they're so pointless. Like. You need something lying up by the pool, actually relaxing, come back to work refreshed.
So your ideal holiday is just go chill by the pool.
Yeah, but my dream holiday would be to go to Japan. Like.
I know.
I know
but,
it's completely different. Like,
I mean, like summer holiday. Like what do you look for in a summer holiday? Like?
just lying up by the pool doing absolutely nothing. I hate the beach.
Why?
I know that's quite a relaxing thing.
You don't
but I
like the
hate
sand,
beach.
do you?
I hate the sand.
Yeah,
the
fair.
sand just
Is
gets
she
me.
hot as well? Like
Oh fuck! It's
blah.
the time me and Aoife went to, or was it Salou? We were going to this place. I don't think I've actually told this before. We were going to stay with my ones in this campsite, but
Right.
like it was like all these. You had to wear a band in, but
Right.
we'd arrived late, and my dad had it booked, but he didn't have our bands,
Yeah.
so there was no actual band for us. So he had to bring some out to us. So we had to wait outside.
Yeah.
So there was like there was a beach just out in front of it, so we had to stay away from the entrance because we had like cases, so they'd know we were just landing, so they'd expect us to go straight to the reception
Yeah.
and book in. But we were like hiding around the beach and shit, like waiting for him, and he must have took about 2 hours coming, and we were sitting there, and I'm pretty sure I was wearing like jean shorts or something, like, something really uncomfortable, like
Yeah.
sitting on a fucking beach lounger on the beach, like there for about 2 hours, got absolutely fucking roasted.
No
Sitting
sun
on
cream
normal
on or
clothes.
nothing. Like.
He just shows up with these 2 bands and me like a wee pink man. It's too late.
Come on.
It's too late. Like.
It's too late. What about you? What's your like? What do you like to do?
To be honest with you, I've never done enough city breaks to like know. Like I really like the idea. Like
I get the feeling you're someone who has to be doing something all the time.
No,
like.
actually not. Honestly,
You weren't like out in Dublin.
no. Right. What do you mean?
You weren't there. Shut the fuck up.
What do you mean? Like?
Just like the Jameson turn all. Like. We had to do something. Like.
And yeah, I wanted to do something, so I just didn't want to go sit in the pub all day.
Yeah, but like, what's the difference sitting in beside the pool?
We actually done something like.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
but
what I mean.
there's
Like,
a difference,
are you
right?
not like that on holidays?
So no, I honestly, mate,
That's a lie.
Ask Lucinda. Ask Lucinda.
He only goes in 3 day trips.
Lucinda always says whenever I go on holiday, I'm like a different person. Like I don't want to do anything. Like she had to basically beg me to go to, there was like a water park 20 minutes up the road from whenever we were staying in Gran Canaria, and she was like, I really want to go here, and I was like, right, okay.
Did you not go to a water park?
I found it fun, but when I got there, I just enjoyed the idea of lying beside a pool, left my phone up in the room, like just had like unlimited beer, unlimited snacks and everything. Like I really enjoy going away and lounging beside a pool.
Do you do a lot of drinking?
So whenever we went to Mallorca, we went with Lucinda's sister was there with her boyfriend at the time, and we went out a few nights. Me and Lucinda then went to like we went out a few nights to drinking, but then me and Lucinda went to Gran Canaria there, and we got all inclusive, and we thought we'll be making use of this all the time. Barely drank. Like I had like 2 pints beside the pool a day, and that was it.
Seriously? No nighttime drinking or nothing?
No. By the time it was so hot.
You were done riding. You were straight to bed.
By the time the
juices are already flowing.
By the time we like got dinner and stuff, and maybe like just went out at like a dander or something somewhere, like we were just like we like, don't get me wrong, there was like maybe 3 nights where we sat and had like 1 or 2 cocktails, and that was it. Like it wasn't really, I don't know, it was, I think it was just because it was so hot. Like it was like by the end of the
that's
day,
the thing that puts me off, because I remember like when I go on holidays, I would get like migraines and stuff, so I would always get sore heads from being like dehydrated. So like drinking for me on holidays always like it's not really worth it. Like
see, before the pandemic, we were meant to go to Poland like and do like all the stuff that you did, and I was really looking forward to it. Like and we just once it was
the last podcast.
They'll never see the light of day. Once that got cancelled, I was pretty disappointed, because like we haven't done it. Like we've done Edinburgh and stuff, and like it was a nice wee.
But
like,
that's a city break.
Like it was nice getting around like all the pubs and like going sightseeing and stuff. But like I think if you're going somewhere hot,
I think after doing a few city breaks, I'm sort of on board with Shea. Like you just come back and you're exhausted. Like
well, we went to, where was it?
They're all generally the same too. Yeah. I know there's different architecture
we went
shit you can see, but it's just shops.
We went to Florence and Pisa whenever we were in Italy. So that was 2 like days we went into cities. Yeah. And like I didn't mind being in Italy. It was boiling, but you see when you're sitting beside a pool, like all that there stuff, it was so nice. You see once you went into the city, you were driving like aircon on the car, and then you got out. Like see once you went into a city, it was like someone just sucked all the air. Yeah. And you're just like
breathing in other people's breath.
Yeah, it was not nice. But like I haven't done enough to give you a firm answer. Like, are you looking forward to getting away?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to lounging?
Yeah.
Do you not understand? Do you not kind of get where I'm coming from? Do you not kind of get where I'm coming from though, with regards to the whole like going and lounging somewhere, where like the idea of it, like I'm thinking about like you going to, like say you go to somewhere in Mallorca, right? And then you come back and all you've done, like for example, we were speaking to someone there recently and they went to Mexico. They went to a resort in Mexico.
Yeah.
They just stayed in the resort.
Right.
So it's like,
that's apart from quite a common thing to do in Mexico, apparently.
Yeah. But apart from warm weather, like in my opinion, I'm like now once I get there, I'd be like, I just want to lounge about. So I understand it. But like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like what are you experiencing? Do you know what I mean? Like you've been to Mexico, but like what have you actually? You've just went to a resort in Mexico.
Bliss.
Huh?
You're experiencing bliss.
But it's weird that you say that, but then you're saying when you go on holidays, you're like, you'd rather just sit by the pool.
Yeah.
Do you not think like there's a sort of like people sort of look down on people that just sort of go to the likes of Lanzarote and Salou, and then there's just you have the people who are like cultured and go city breaks
and
like,
Instagram
just
here.
get Instagrams.
Like I know the time we went to Gran Canaria, I had like 4 or 5 places. Like I was like, we should go here, and then whenever we got there, it was like we just went to the water park and that was it.
Yeah,
like that was as far as we went a few walks, but that was it.
But just touching on that Instagram thing, like people going for the Instagram photo, do you think they actually enjoy actually seeing those sites?
To me,
like, do you think they get there and they're like fascinated by them and really intrigued?
Part of me is like maybe some people are, but I truly believe that they're like seen it on Instagram and they're like, we have to go there and get a photo, and that's it. Like once you get the
But
photo,
they hardly stay about and go and
like
fucking look
nobody's
around
like
the place,
going on a guided turn, like learning the history and being like, oh, this is so
But I
interesting.
feel like a lot
You
of
get
people,
there, you take the pictures, like, right, food.
right.
Yeah,
Aye,
a lot
I'm
of
fucking
people-
starving. We've been
a lot of
walking all day.
a lot of people would probably be like, if I don't get a photo of this, will anybody actually care about me going away?
Picker
Yeah.
didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You weren't even away.
Um,
What the fuck? If you don't video the whole thing and put it on TikTok now, it didn't happen.
here's a question for you: for you about to go away and you just coming back, travel insurance. Did you get? Did you get travel insurance?
You dickhead.
I know. It was a nice.
We're gonna do the whole Tommy's question time thing again, and you've just ruined it.
I know, right, cut.
Lads' holidays, like we've never been on a lads' holiday, and I wanted to ask is, do you think we've missed out?
We're going
Do we
local
need? Do we
lad
need to go
holidays.
on?
I think
them?
we've went on local lads holidays. Like,
I know,
we've-
but we
we've-
haven't went on sort of the classic lads'
yeah,
holiday. The
I think
the
the first
Ponza
time.
and all that.
I think the first time we dipped our toe in that water was probably Manchester, but that whole.
I know,
went to
but that wasn't really.
SH1
Like,
day,
I mean,
yeah.
like a proper like week away. Like.
I don't know if I could do a week away with you.
I don't think we could hack it. Like. Do you think you could go out a week drinking in Spain or somewhere? Like?
Don't know. No. I think like 3 days would be enough. 4 days.
Like,
No,
I don't
I
think-
think
I
3
don't
days
think
would
we're
really
really
get.
get the
Do you think
That's
we
all
are
we're doing.
like? I don't know if we are like lads. Like.
No, we're not. Like
I am.
Definitely
We're
not.
categorically
I am
not.
alpha.
We're just not. Like, I could imagine us going away for 3 nights somewhere. Right, first night, get there,
Get
on
into
the-
bed together,
on the.
kiss,
on-
marshmallows, chocolate fondant.
I can imagine us landing on the Sosla, and then next day lounging about the pool. I can imagine a few drinks that night, and then I could imagine us actually doing something like a water park. Like I could, like grown ups. Do you know the way they were like, you know, grown ups?
Kids.
Like I can imagine us doing something like that. Like, but I couldn't imagine.
Could you
like,
imagine us going like nightclubbing 3
No,
nights in a row?
definitely not. Like, Manchester. Let's take Manchester into consideration. We went out 2 nights in Manchester.
That
The
was just
second night,
bad timing because I was sick. Like.
you were sick because you went out drinking.
I know, but
before
like
the-
there was definitely something else. Like I was
Yeah,
proper
pussy, I guess.
fucking sick. Like. We'll see.
The plane
Thomas-
gets you, like the plane gets you.
Thomas about to board the plane, and Broda's like, "Do you take your anti-sickness tablets with you, pet? Remember to put them below your wee lip." He's that big of an impatient little dipshit. He just Brona was like, "No, you have to put them below your tongue and like wait."
You
2
have
minutes.
to put them
2
in
minutes
there.
later, he comes parading into the room. I just swallowed it. I don't have time. I
Because
don't
I'm
have time to
all
wait.
work
Like,
I don't spit, I swallow.
but no, I can
Lads
imagine us
holiday,
going
no,
somewhere.
then proper classic.
No, if you floated the idea, yeah, we'll go. Like,
I just floated it.
no, like I go, like if you said, "Oh, we're thinking of going on a lads' holiday," am I gonna go? Oh, here, Thomas and Jay, you away on? Like,
Oh no, but
it wouldn't happen.
Do
Like,
you do you feel like you missed out? Like, do you ever look and think, "Oh, I wish I'd done that"?
no.
Moving on.
No, it's just being honest. Like, what about you?
Not really, no. I think we've had the local ones away and shit, and it's pretty much the same, just without the sun.
Yeah,
Because I think the sun ones would be tougher. Like,
we haven't really been away a few nights with.
I haven't been away
without
like a
the
full
women,
week. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we've done
We're
a couple
not
of days and shit.
allowed.
Like, no, 3 max. Like, no, 2 nights, 3 day max.
Yeah.
Not allowed any longer. Like.
I would love to hear some mad stories if people are listening to this podcast. Like, if you've went on any like lads' holidays, like tell us what we're missing. Like,
Yeah.
like I know a fella who went like at the end of his like leavers, like for school, and like bunch of lads from his year went away, like, and he just said it was just like after 4 days he was like ready for home. He was like lads coming back at like 6 a.m, like, and like I know even a fella who went on a stag do there recently, and the stag disappeared. They found him on a beach, like they found him on the beach in front of the bar,
Yeah.
and he completely took his clothes off and he got robbed, like someone robbed
What?
him while
Then
he was
took
passed
all his
out on the
clothes
beach.
off?
Like, yeah, like they didn't take his clothes. Like
He took his clothes off.
took his clothes off, put them over like an abandoned like sun lounger, laid on, and when they got round, like someone had went into his jeans pocket, took like his phone, his keys, and all that, his phone
yeah.
and his wallet and all that. There, yeah.
One thing that doesn't appeal to me is Like you'd probably go with like 5 or 6 lads. You're all gonna be sleeping
I
in
don't
one
even
room.
know 5 or 6 lads.
Don't even know 5 or 6 lads. You'd probably all be sleeping in one room, like drinking all week, eating shit. Imagine the smell of the room, like.
Imagine the state.
All
But you
shitting
hear
in the
about
same toilet
boys
and all. Like.
racking the rooms and all as well. Like,
I know.
and you're just like,
That's just-
Did you ever see the video when it's all these lads in like an apartment complex, and the girl comes in and is like,
Oh,
right,
yeah.
lads, you're gonna have to go, like you're gonna have to cut this. And they were like, why? They were like, so much shit in the pool.
She put it like someone shot in the pool.
Someone
Someone
shot.
shot in the
And they're
pool.
like, oh my god, no way. They're like,
No, no way,
Scottish.
mate.
They're like Scottish. They're like, oh. It was mad. It's like, I just imagine that happening, because I know exactly if us three are sitting and someone comes in and goes, lad, you're gonna have to go. Someone's kicked in the pool. Me and you would both be like,
definitely.
yeah,
Did you
100%. And Shea would be the one with the audacity to be like, oh, lad, I didn't know where the toilet was. Like,
On the go, like.
I don't know that.
Shea leaving floaters in the pool. Like.
All those same place, like.
I don't think we missed out. Like, we still have time. Like, we're only in our 20s. Like,
Oh, but
plenty of time.
Here the 20s are fading fast.
Telling you.
Halfway through in a couple of months.
Leading on from that, there, I feel like
After-
it's time.
after absolutely no demand,
I
it's
feel
back.
it's back. So I feel like we should roll the intro to a fan favorite. Shea, roll that intro.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It's Tommy's question time. So take it away, big man. You've got your spotlight back. Shea, he gurned about this for so long, didn't he? He was like,
Aye.
lads, the podcast
Was
just
your-
isn't the
was
same
your
without
idea, you
Tommy's
cock.
question time.
He's leaving subliminal messages everywhere.
Take it away.
So in line with holidays, I wanted to ask is, have you ever had to use travel insurance? Because every year you're going away and everyone's always like, have you got your travel insurance sorted? And everyone's fucking stressed in the max. Like, you need to get travel insurance. Like, you need it. Like what if something happens? But nothing ever does happen. So I want to know, have you ever had to use it? Or has there been cases where you've almost had to use it or came close to near the end on holiday or getting injured?
I've never got it.
You never get it, do you?
We got it this Aoife. I didn't want to get it. Aoife insisted that we get it this year in case it got cancelled because we were going with no COVID jobs.
Yeah.
So she was like, we'll get it just in case. But other than that, I would never have used it. Like. I never got it.
I feel like a lot of people are getting it recently now because it, like, a lot of people get it if they get injured or something. But now it's covering cancelled all that there stuff. So I think we did get it for Gran Canaria, but I think we only got it for Gran. I don't think we even got it for Italy, unless it was included in the price, because I don't remember organising it. I just remember her ones organised it and I just paid them.
But have you ever had
thing
to use it?
No, never.
Close, like.
You're a young lad. Like. You feel invincible. Like. You don't need no insurance. Like. If there's going to be an injury, it's going to result in or end in death. So you don't need any. You can't take any money
Just
to the grave
break
with you.
your
Like.
arm on holiday and you're like, oh, well, I'm halfway there now. You just
Break the
fucking
arm.
dive off a cliff. Like.
Good luck.
I had one experience in Italy whenever I thought this isn't good, but after like a day or two it kind of faded away and I thought I broke my
what
arm.
happened?
So we were sitting out, we had like a caravan, we were staying in a campsite thing, and it was maybe like 7 or something, and we'd been sitting out, we were making cocktails and stuff and having like just stuff to eat.
Getting each other's toenails.
Right.
Right to the fucking point.
So
We're
basically,
flew
long
over
story,
in the plane.
long story long
So the bartender came along and he
Long-
shook the cocktail 3 times.
long
Put a
story
bit of
short.
lime in it.
Long story short, ran out of rum. I was like, right, go to the shop. So at the time we had bikes to get us around the
Full,
campsite. Well on. Hopped on the bike, right? Started pedaling. Cinda was behind
As you
me,
do.
and I just floored it, like, because in my head I was like, the shop shuts in 5 minutes. We need to go gadget, like,
Fuck boy.
fast AF. Went round the corner and was wearing a cap. Next minute I felt the cap kind of about to blow off my head.
Right.
So I went like this to grab the cap, but as I went like this, I like didn't know what I was doing and just wicked the handlebars of the bike round and went straight over like the handlebars of the bike, landed on my face, landed on my shoulder, like, and just completely and utterly like face planted. I like seen stars and all lying on the ground. This wee German fella came over and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was so flustered, and it was obviously like had a few drinks in me. I was like, "Go away, just go away, like go away, you're flustering me," because I thought like I'd properly hurt myself.
Yeah.
And he was pure all around, like, "Are you okay?" And
Was he
immediately
doing that?
I'm trying to watch your
he was
windscreen.
like, "Oh, are you okay?" And all. I was like,
Are you okay?
I was like, "Oh, yeah."
$5, lad.
I was like, "Lad, like just leave me alone," like. And then Lucinda came
He's like,
round.
how many fingers am I
Lucinda came round the corner and she was like, "What the heck happened to you?" And I was like, "Well, I think it's pretty obvious I fell off the bike." And she was like, "Right, mate, like go, like I'm fine, he's with me and all this here." But like I had like scored like my face like into my eye, so
Right.
like I like was like bleeding here, and I thought like it cut, like I'd done damage to my eye, and then as well as that I'd obviously fell, like I'd cut like right up here, but it was quite like deep. But like by the time we got back and got bandaged up and all, I remember lying that night like this and was like, my arm is messed up here. And then like a couple of days, it was like this was maybe third day and like a 11-day holiday, so it was like sore for like 3 days, to the point like the next day was like, this isn't right. But then I held out because you don't want to cause a scene, you know what I mean? Like you've already caused enough scene falling off bike.
enough scenes.
But that was the only time I thought, oh my word, like we may need to go to the hospital here. Like imagine lying in an Italian hospital, like
Pizza for dinner.
pizza for dinner. Like, do you know what I mean?
Spaghetti bandages and all.
But like, are you getting travel insurance for your?
I think so.
Have you ever had to use it?
No.
But why are you getting it if you know you're never going to use
Because
it?
it's just, I don't know, when you're with a woman, you don't really have much of a choice.
Them women's liabilities.
And she gets in the queue, you don't know what's going to happen. I remember being on holidays once I thought I'd got a fucking concussion. It was like the first day, and like
Why?
we were staying in this like complex with like a water park in it. And me and my dad went down on, you know, the slides with like the 2 rubber rings that they're giant, like.
Yeah.
And they go like the big slide that goes like this, is like a U shape.
Oh my god, yeah.
And you go, it's like you go around and then go down and then go back. So me and my dad went in the tunnel bit, fucking ring went up onto the top of the roof, and bang, fuck me, smacked my head off the fucking thing. Man. Then came out and like my head was bleeding there and all, and like the lifeguards were running over and all, like, are you okay and all, and I was dead on, like, but at a big it was the first day, and the whole time
explains so
I had
much.
a big like a mark on my head the whole holiday, and like, you know when you're on holiday with your family and they're like taking photos and all, like, and
Yeah.
the whole time, like,
Like a
What
big
age were
fucking
you?
gash head over here. Like.
What age were you?
I was probably like 15 or something.
Alright.
And then when I was younger, like really young, like we used to go on holidays with my cousins. I remember we were at this water park, and my mom and dad were like, to my auntie and uncle, we're going to go on the slide here, will you watch him? Like? And they left me, like, it was like, you know, the sunbeds.
Aye, the slide. Sure.
You know, you know the sun.
Oh yeah.
You know, grow up. You know the sunbeds, but the ones that are like the slots, so like there's a gap in between them.
Yeah.
There's one of them, and this like water park done like, you know, the crepes with the chocolate on them and all.
Of course, it's food. You.
Yeah, so then the fatso that I am, they'd sat the crepe on a wall, and then the sunbed was below it. So I've got on the bed to climb up and get it, like walking on the bed, and my foot went through the slots and got stuck, and I've let a big scream out of me, like. And apparently I made an absolute scene, like. I can barely remember it, like, but like apparently I was screaming like fuck, thought my leg was gonna have to be cut off, like.
Did you get the crap?
He was screaming because he couldn't get the crap.
I don't know.
Hey, crap! People are like, you're gonna have to amputate your leg, and you're like, but I want my crap.
I think they shoved it down my throat to get me to stop screaming. Good crack.
Good crap.
Them things are dodgy. Them slides.
The slide.
I remember that water park where we went to in Gran Canaria. We went down. It was like the double ring thing.
Yeah.
Went down and went up like a big wall and came back down the other side.
Yeah.
And you know the way they have like water at the end that kind of like
Slows
like
you down.
slows you down.
Yeah.
I like lifted my ass up out of the ring
Yeah.
because I thought, oh, that'll slow me down. You're meant to bury your ass in it. So I lifted up and we just hit the water and just like across it like a skimming stone. Bang, hit the back wall.
Oh,
But as
fuck.
we were hitting the back wall, I went, oh, we're going way too fast here. And then I was obviously first, so I was taking the brunt of the wall. She was beside me, so I buried myself at the time. Looking back on now,
You saved her life, like.
I buried my ass into the ring, and
You're just
next
like,
minute
no.
hit the wall, bang! But below like the foam bit was like a rubber, like a plastic ledge.
Yeah.
So my ass hit the plastic ledge, and we just went straight up over it, and I went down. I thought I was in the womb again. Like I was pure like, what's happening here? Then I got up, and I was pure like thought, oh my word, like I've wrecked my side. And then I got up and listened. It was like, your knee hit my head, and I was like, I don't care.
Like, shut the fuck up.
This guy came across and he was like, are you okay? And like 2 or 3 people who were in the line just ditched the rings and walked off.
Seriously?
And I was like, yeah, I've killed business.
That's a
for
no
you.
from me.
Yeah. Could have been another travel insurance incident, like, but sure, you never
You
know.
had no accidents, Shea.
No, I'm fucking invincible.
You're hard as a rock, eh?
Jumped into the pool one day and fucking big hole in it, and the pool drained. Don't worry about it.
Shea just reminds me of that person who would arrive, just put the towel down in the sun lounger and just go cannonball and just jump straight in. Like.
Soak everyone, all the water leaves the pool.
Exactly. Like.
It'll be like the one time where you go away with them, something.
Oh, yeah.
Some wee boy tried to drown me when I was younger. I don't
What?
remember this. You know that year?
You sure
it
you
was
wasn't at your Marda?
They tell
Mummy,
me-
what are you doing?
They tell me a different story.
It's just a game.
I think it was one of those, those duck things that like kids get in. You like they're like rings, but they're like duck heads on them, and you put your like feet into them, and like they hold you
Oh
up.
yeah.
Like that's what age I was, like 14, and like,
You need for running them on holidays.
no, I was like 2 or whatever, but
I'm like 2, like.
20. But so one of those in some fucking bay. Or no, I was like floating about the pool, and my ones were sitting on the sun loungers, and they said like they were chatting away, they were with their friends, and the next thing they turned around and my legs were like dangling up in the air. I was fucking upside down in it, like. Almost died. They had to jump in and fucking pull me out of the water, like. Don't know how long I was there for. They don't know either, like.
Your man dad look across and you're like, oh my god, he's drowning. They're like, oh, he'll find his own way. Like,
You're
"Yeah,
all right,
alright,
like,
like,
it's a learning experience. Don't worry
it's sink or
about
swim
Sure,
time.
he can't swim. He's no good, does he?
it. I survived that, so no, I don't need travel insurance now.
Ever since then, you've never had any problems on holidays. You're like, if I can get through this, I can get through anything.
I'm strong.
You're waiting for the moment where you go on holiday and some wee fella does the same thing and you're like, I've been there. I know. I know exactly what to do. Like.
Situation.
Bear Grylls
He'll be
survival
taking his
instinct.
kids on holiday and there'll be one of them duck things, and she'll just be like, no.
I won't let you go through the same thing that I went through.
Weird. Like.
Right, so this week, what we're going to start doing from now on is, for each topic, Shea's going to go on Reddit and get a few wee stories. So
I'm pretty
a wee
annoyed.
Reddit reporter, what about that? Hey, that's
Yeah.
not a bad name.
Shea
I was gonna
Reddit
just say
reporter.
I'm very annoyed. Tommy's got his name, Tommy's question time, and yours is Ross's rants, but mine's just Shea does Reddit. So
So how do we need to come up with
What
a
do we
name?
call
So
it?
if you have a good
What do we call
name,
it? Alright,
send it in. Change your name to something beginning with R, and it can be like
Rodri.
Rodri Reports. Rodri's Reddit Report. Shea's Reddit
Shay's
Report.
Reddit stories.
Oh, that's
That's
trash.
trash.
Stop, die, cunt. Alright, story number 1. Let's take it away. Alright, so obviously got this from Reddit. It's an 18-year-old girl went hiking in the Himalayas in Nepal when I was 18 with a friend. I'm assuming she's older now. We were the only girls on the hike the entire time on the first day, and her how would you say that? Nepalese?
Yeah.
Naples, was it? No.
Napolese.
Guide, probably early
Is it
30s.
Naples?
What?
It's not Naples, is
I
it?
said Nepalese. I don't think
Napolese,
it's
is that
Naples.
like a-
Naples is a country, isn't it? Or
Naples, not
a city?
I mean.
Irrelevant.
Sounds like-
Move on,
sounds like-
please.
From Nepal.
Yes. Move on.
Probably early 30s. Married man told us we were going to have a chicken party when we got to our first night stay in the village in the mountains. Not knowing what this was, we were very hesitant. Turns out a chicken party meant that all the guys on the track, guides and male trackers alike, got hideously drunk and started ramming into our super thin wooden door. That could have went so much worse. With a cheap, flimsy lock, clucking like cooks. Chooks? What the fuck's that?
I'm so
Chooks.
confused about talking here.
CHOKS. So they're on a hike, right?
Right.
The hiker turned around to the mid-hike and was like, oh, tonight we're going to have a fucking
Chicken party.
chicken party. So the girls didn't know what this was. So that was all right. Continued with the hike. Got back from the hike.
Yeah.
Everyone was drinking away, having their crack. And all the lads got fucking steaming. So it was like 20 lads or something. Turns out the chicken party meant that all the guys on the track, guides and male trackers alike, got hideously drunk and started ramming into a super thin wooden door with a cheap flimsy lock, clucking like chooks. I think that's supposed to be chicks.
Probably.
We spent the whole night sitting with our backs pressed against the door to stop them coming in, and God knows what to do to us.
Jesus.
Oh my
I thought I was
God.
going to be gang raped by at least 15
my
men that
God.
night.
That is so grim.
So I looked up chicken party on Urban Dictionary too, and it's defined as a party where many of the people there are engaged in oral sex, mostly girls giving head.
What
And the hiker
the
straight up
fuck?
told them that they were doing this tonight.
And did they think
They're
they
unknown of
agreed
what
to
it
it
was.
or
Like.
what? Like,
They didn't agree to it. They were just like, okay, whatever. Like didn't know what it was.
Well, to be fair, if someone said to me we're
up,
gonna
like.
have a chicken party tonight, I'd be like, well, it must be a party with chicken. Like,
Yeah, you'd
getting
think maybe.
chicken.
Yeah.
I'd be
Yes.
like,
get a wee
I'd be
KFC
like,
or something.
You're so
breaded
innocent.
or
Ross.
garlic. Like.
It's not like Nando's, spicy peri peri.
That'd be mad. Like,
What would you do?
what could you do?
What would you?
You probably would have done the same and not let them
Yeah.
in.
Would you? All right, say you're out hiking, so you're obviously in a fucking forest or something. Would you try and hold the door all night, or would you run away?
Well, you could probably only get out one door. Like.
Yeah, but
like,
would
how-
you try and
how-
escape?
There's
How-
20 boys, like,
How does
Man,
it,
like
how does-
there's no getting away
like,
from
that's
them.
just
I don't
that's
think.
messed up.
There's
Like,
probably
what
one.
happens then the next day? Like, do you leave the door and be like, that was some crack we had last night? Whenever you're trying to bust down my door, like, what do you
All
do
jokes
there? Like,
aside.
what, like, what,
Aye, like what happened the next day? Were they just like, what the fuck?
No, it doesn't actually say on it.
take a hike, like.
I just took the segment from the Reddit and posted in my notes. It doesn't say on it. That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
That's
That
fucked
would
up.
be
What's next?
that would
Right.
be the weirdest holiday experience ever.
I might enjoy it. Like some people might be into that.
No, definitely not.
All right, next one. I was traveling in Nicaragua several years ago when I got lost and I ended up having to take a taxi at 9:30 back to my hostel. When the taxi pulled up to the curb, the taxi driver locked the taxi doors and told me that I had misunderstood the fare. He claimed I owed him $100, which was several times more than we had agreed upon. I tried to pry the door open from inside, but was completely trapped. Thankfully, he let me out of the taxi.
She couldn't get out of the taxi.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So obviously got into the taxi and asked, how much it's going to be, 10 quid or whatever. And then taxi driver got to the destination, locked the doors and just wouldn't let them out. So I tried to pry the door open from the inside, but was completely trapped. Thankfully, he let me out of the taxi after taking all the money I had.
Holy fuck.
The hostel workers told me I was incredibly lucky. A few days earlier, a taxi driver had kidnapped another young female, assaulted her, then dumped her barely conscious body in a field outside the town, thinking she was dead. A few local school children found her on the way to school the next morning.
Holy what is with these stories? Like,
Sick,
fuck
like.
me, I didn't realize it was going to get this dark. Like.
Yeah, I didn't get any happy stories. I was
Jesus.
diving deep, like I was in the
Imagine
dark
that,
subreddits.
like, that's mad. Like, that
Would
is
it put you off going to like sort of non-touristy places?
I've heard whenever you get into taxis, some places they ask you, like, are you from here?
Yeah.
And if
That's a red
anybody
flag.
says no, it's normally a red flag, because what they tend to do is then take bigger routes to get the fare up.
Yeah.
But
And then
know-
you get a bigger fucking
Yeah.
route at the end.
So like I even know, like, whenever I was going over a few places for work and stuff, like, I always like just googled what like the route would be from the airport to the hotel, just to make sure. But like, I couldn't I think it's really easy for people like us to be like, oh, it wouldn't really, like, you know what I mean, like, it doesn't really. But then I think it's different if it's like girls, like,
Yeah.
because, like, put it this way, like, when you go like to another country, like, that they're not like the guys are just, they're dodgy, like, they're
Yeah.
just dodgy blokes, like.
You'd probably get that anywhere.
Yeah.
Like. I'd say there's some dodgy taxi men about here. Like.
Anyway, yeah, we were staying in Port Stewart at my cousin's house one night, and like the two of them's from Port Stewart, like, so they obviously know the area well. And we were getting a taxi into the port. So, home from the port. We're already in the port drinking, and got a taxi home. You know the way if you're driving from Port Stewart to Port Rush, you drive the coast, like. So this was at like fucking 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and jumping this taxi, he takes us around like the back of it, and we were sort of like, what the fuck's going on here? And they weren't really saying anything, and I was like, is this the right way? Like, are we going the right way? And they were like, they're from there, and they were like, I actually don't know. Like. And no one was really saying anything, so I just sort of piped up and was like, lad, are you sure you're going the right way? Like?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'm not going through town. Like, there's going to be too much traffic.
Yeah.
And then it sort of like, I was like, right. And then it sort of like didn't sit right with me. So I was like, so you're telling us at 2 o'clock in the morning there's going to be too much fucking traffic in the town, so you're going to take us like round through the countryside and all that?
Yeah.
So then I ended up fucking kicking off big massive rows, and he told us to fuck off and get out of the taxi.
Seriously?
Lucky enough it didn't proper kick off. We were just like at the entrance of where they live. Like.
Yeah.
We're pretty close. Like. Basically just goes, get the fuck out now. Like, right, we're going fucking mad at each other, all screaming at each other in the back of the taxi.
Oh my God.
It was fucking nuts. And he's like, get the fuck out of my taxi now. He's constant.
Oh my God.
Jumped out of the taxi and just left.
And didn't pay him.
I think give him a fiver. Like. It was probably like £7 or something.
I
But
wouldn't
like,
give him anything at all. Like.
it was a £5 in or something whenever we got in. Like. And obviously, if you're coming back that late at night and the fucking the roads are dead, like, has to be cheaper. Like.
Yeah.
So just gave him a £5 and left. Like. It was like 7 or 8 quid on the meter. Like. But he just took us for a ride, obviously. Like.
Literally.
no doubt.
Literally, quite literally took you for a ride.
That him up.
Brona actually told me about a dodgy time. Like, she got a taxi. Like, they were coming back from a night out, which was one of her mates from Ballymena, and like there was like three of them. It was like one of her mates from Ballymena, and then her boyfriend, and then her, and they were getting the taxi, and she was obviously going back to our flat in Belfast, and they were like, the taxi driver was like, oh sure, I'll drop you off first in Ballymena. And they were like, no, you'll drop her off first. Like, even the boyfriend was proper like, no, like, what are you on about? Like, drop her off first. And you're a bit like, to me, that's a bit dodgy. Like,
yeah.
Like, why the fuck would he want to drop
so
them
basically
off?
drop everyone else off so that he's in the taxi on his own with her. That's fucking weird.
You know, that's shit like that's scary. Like, do you know?
Why did he not? Even if he had no bad intention, why did he not think?
But
that's
what I
dodgy,
mean. Like, I think he did. I think he
so
did have
sus,
bad
like.
intentions.
That's strange.
Anyone with fucking any sense. Like, she
Yeah.
lives in Belfast. So I sure go to Ballymena and drop her off last.
Yeah.
Creep.
But if you were a fucking tourist, you wouldn't know where Ballymena is in relation to, say, where she was living.
Oh yeah, well that's true.
Anyway, moving on, we're gonna come to the end of the podcast. We're gonna do a wee segment called Ross's Rants. So, my rant for you is this week. I was talking to Lucinda this week.
Get riled up.
Right.
Ross's rants.
Rant that shit, baby. I was talking to Lucinda this week, right? And we were arranging a few things. I put through an inquiry form, basically. I think it was for a house or
To
something.
Lucinda.
I put through an inquiry form for a house, right?
Are we having
the-
sex
Please,
tonight?
please, mate.
The form
Please, Meg,
basically,
go out with the lads
said,
In
like,
7 weeks.
the form, we've just so much going on at the minute. The form basically said, do you want us to get in contact with you via phone or email?
Yeah.
And I just clicked via phone,
Yeah.
and it was her number. And I was like, right, they're gonna have to ring you because like I like you're more likely to answer the phone. To which she then replied like, no, just put through your email. And I went, why? She went, I just don't want to deal with a phone call. And I went, what? She was like, I just don't like phone calls. And I was
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Which then goes on, like, you know, about 7 years we've been going out, and every time, like, even simple things like ringing through a chippy, Lucinda's like, no, you ring it.
Yeah.
So this is my rant this week, la. Does this rile you? Because it really wound me up to the point where I was like, we need to get this thing sorted quick. Like, I was like it's not like you emailing back and forth is not gonna, like, it's just gonna take longer. Like, all it takes is one phone call. Are you free on this day at this time? Yes, no, yes, right, done. Bye. Phone call done. But like, do you think that, like, and this seems to be a common thing because I've talked about it to a few people, and like even my sister was like, no, I just prefer to WhatsApp. And I'm like, I think it's maybe just because I like to get an answer there and then. Like, if I need you or want you for like a question, I'll ring you like all the time. So my rant this week is, does that annoy you, or do you understand?
No, say your rant this week is...
My rant this week is people not avoiding phone calls.
Man, thinking about the clip.
Unagi.
Yeah.
No, funny you say this. I seen a thing on TikTok, or it was like a clip from a podcast or something, and this guy was basically like, this it might have been Shane Todd's podcast actually, but like he basically was like, our generation is a generation that'll send a dick pic but not ring in a Chinese order. Like.
True.
So true.
Do you know what I mean? Like?
Yeah.
But that annoys me, like, because even like growing up, like I think like I would have rang my mates, like, even like the likes of you, and you would have been like, why do you ring me? It's
Yeah.
weird. Like you would have got people being like, it's so weird that like you just ring. Like I would, like I used to have mates that ring and just chat them on the phone instead of texting.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. Like I hate texting.
Yeah.
I hate texting.
But then you do seem to text a lot.
What do you mean?
Like anytime I'm with you, you'll be texting like other people. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you'll be texting like,
That's just 'cause I'm
you'd be
popular.
texting him or something.
Just
Do
got
you know what I mean? So like
many
it seems
bitches
like
on the
whenever I'm
call
with you,
log,
you're texting, but like
I don't
like
think
me
that-
and you would never.
I don't think I text that much. Like
I don't think you do.
no, I think you're talking shit, Ross.
No,
Maybe you're thinking different friends.
No, I get that, like, because it's like you just ring and get straight away, but there's this whole thing, even like people going in and ordering food, like,
yeah.
do you know?
I feel like as well,
That's
I
what
really
I mean.
don't. I really don't like the excuse of like, why do you just not ring? Oh, just cause. And I'm like,
Email definitely takes longer. Like,
email 100% takes longer.
does.
I get the receiving call things though, because I'm not always free to take a call.
Yeah.
And if I miss that call, then I'm gonna have to
I
get
do.
like, a free time to ring them back. And a lot of time, whenever it's like a company, they ring you on a fucking like 0800 number or something, and you
Yeah.
can't ring them back.
I do get that.
So with that, I'd rather have an email. But it does annoy me whenever it's like the likes of a Chinese or someone. Like if me and Aoife's going to get a Chinese, I'd be like, ring that there. But then I'd be thick too. Like I'd be like, ring that, and then she'd be like, no, and I'd be like, right, we're not going then.
yeah.
And I wouldn't go.
nice. You know what
Or
I
something
hate
like
though?
that.
Like, is like do you, when I'm driving, like say I take Brona to get a Chinese, or like I take my wee bra or something, because I drove, I'll always be like, oh, run in and get that there.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
I'll say
I hate
that to her, and she'd be like, but I've no makeup
Yes.
on or nothing, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, fuck me,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Chinese
should
guy's
you want
not
me to-
gonna fucking take you home now, is he? Fuck off.
The thing that really riles me, like even the dialogue, like a conversation we had the other day was Lucinda was going to meet a friend at a coffee shop,
Yeah.
and I went, is that coffee shop not closed? Because I seen it in mid-pandemic, it went up for sale, and I went, is that not closed? And she went, no, I don't think so. And then she brought it up, and then they never had the opening hours, and I went, just ring it and see if someone answers. And she's like, no, I'd rather just go, and if they're closed, we'll go somewhere else. And I went, what? Are you serious? Like, I was just like,
You just
this
slapped
is
her up, like.
crazy. Like I just don't get it. Like, but then I feel like it's cause
But I think it's our generation as well.
yeah,
See, but like even now, like it's obviously different for people that live around where we live. But like you think of people living in Belfast, like kids growing up, they're ordering food on their phone.
Yeah,
Like they're not
Uber Eats,
ringing. Nobody
yeah.
rings
Yeah.
at ordering anymore. Like.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It just to me, it just doesn't make sense. But then I suppose like Lucinda said to me the other day, she was like, you're just one of them impatient people where you just want an answer there and then, whereas like I'm happy to go with the flow. And I'm like, but it doesn't make sense to me that like, but then also then
I suppose it just depends on the situation. Like.
You might get an experience out of it though. Where she's saying, you know, we'll just go, and then at least you're out of the house. You know, something else might happen.
Yeah.
Go with the flow,
Go on an
man.
adventure.
don't
Just
understand it.
live a little, Ross. Fucking shake it out and free up, man.
But anyway,
Bend
that's
the
my
rules.
rant over this week, and
That
we'll
was a
end.
good one. I like. I
We'll-
agree. I
we'll-
agree.
I like
Well-
very much.
We'll
I like
end
that.
the podcast there. Thank you very much for listening, and we will
And
see you in the next.
Don't forget
episode.
to review and like and subscribe.
all them things.
Love
Thanks
you.
for listening.
Bye.
Bye.